নমস্কাৰ HSLC পৰীক্ষাৰ্থীসকল তোমালোকৰ 16 ফেব্ৰুৱাৰী তাৰিখৰ ইংৰাজী বিষয়ৰ পৰীক্ষাৰ বাবে যি চিন্তা লাগি আছে হেয়া দূৰ কৰিবৰ বাবে কিছুমান অতি সম্ভাৱ্য VSA টাইপ কোৱেশ্চন লৈ আহিছো আমাক 1 মাৰ্ক বা 2 মাৰ্কৰ কোৱেশ্চনবোৰে বেছিকৈ পাজুলত পেলায় সেই কাৰণে আমি প্ৰতিটো চেপ্টাৰৰে চেপ্টাৰ ওয়াইজ প্ৰশ্ন উত্তৰ প্ৰস্তুত কৰিছো কাৰোবাৰ যদি কোনোটো চেপ্টাৰত ডাউট আছে ডেসক্ৰিপচনত গৈ সেই চেপ্টাৰটোৰ ডাইৰেক্ট টাইম ষ্টেম্প চাই ল'ব পাৰিবা পৰীক্ষাত ভাল মাৰ্ক পাবলগীয়া হলে তোমালোকে বিভিন্ন বুদ্ধি বা কৌশলৰ জৰিয়তে ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট প্ৰশ্ন উত্তৰবিলাক বাছিব জানিব লাগিব সেই কাৰণে আমি বিভিন্ন বছৰত আহি থকা তথা এইবাৰ অহাৰ অতি সম্ভাৱনা থকা প্ৰশ্ন উত্তৰবিলাক আমি এই ভিডিঅটোৰ জৰিয়তে তোমালোকলৈ আগবঢ়াব বিচাৰিছো তেন্তে বলাচোন কোৱেশ্চন এনসাৰ বললৈ আগবাঢ়ো আমাৰ প্ৰথম চেপ্টাৰ হৈছে এ লেটাৰ টু গড এই চেপ্টাৰটোৰ প্ৰথম সম্ভাৱ্য প্ৰশ্ন আছে What happened to Lenso's fields after the hailstorm? যে শিলাবৃষ্টিৰ পিছত লেন্সৰ পথাৰখনৰ কি হ'ল Answer Due to the hailstorm, the Lenso's field was fully destroyed. There was no leaf remaining on the trees. The flowers were gone from the plants. Lenso was shattered after the destruction caused by the hailstorm. Lenso's soul was filled with sadness. He said that they would have no corn that year and they would go hungry. 2 number প্রশ্ন Why did Lenso say the raindrops were like new coins? যে লেন্সোৱে কিয় কৈছিল বৰষুণৰ টোপালবোৰ নতুন মুদ্ৰাৰ দৰে আনসাৰ Lenso's crops were ready for harvest however they required a good downpour before harvesting after a downpour he could sell the harvest and get money that is why he compared the raindrops to new coins next question These are not raindrops falling from the sky they are new coins why did Lenso consider the raindrops as new coins এইবোৰ আকাশৰ পৰা পৰি থকা বৰষুণৰ টোপাল নহয় নতুন মুদ্ৰা লেন্সোৱে বৰষুণৰ টোপালবোৰক নতুন মুদ্ৰা বুলি কিয় গণ্য কৰিছিল আনসাৰ Lenso compares the raindrops were like new coins because the raindrops help him to grow and harvest the crops which results in more prosperity these fully grown crops could be sold in market for good money hence he considered raindrops to new coins Question number 4 Where was Lenso's house situated? Lenso's ঘৰ ক'ত আছিল? Answer Lenso's house was situated in a valley. It was the only house in the entire valley and was on the crest of a low hill. Next question All through the night Lenso thought only of his one hope. What was Lenso's only one hope? ইয়াত কৈছে যে গোটেই ৰাতিটো লেন্সোৱে কেৱল নিজৰ এটা আশাৰ কথা ভাবি আছিল Lenso's একমাত্ৰ আশাটো কি আছিল Answer Lenso's only hope was the help of God Lenso's একমাত্ৰ আশাটো আছিল ভগৱানৰ সহায় Question number 6 Lenso's soul was filled with sadness Why যে লেন্সোৰ আত্মাটো দুখেৰে ভৰি পৰিল কিয় Answer Lenso's soul was filled with sadness because his crops were totally destroyed by hailstorm. Not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. ইয়াত কৈছে যে লেন্সোৰ আত্মা দুখেৰে ভৰি পৰিছিল কাৰণ শিলাবৃষ্টিৰ ফলত তেওঁৰ শস্য সম্পূৰ্ণৰূপে ধ্বংস হৈছিল গছবোৰৰ ওপৰত এটা পাতো নাথাকিল কৰ্ণবোৰো সম্পূৰ্ণৰূপে ধ্বংস হৈ গৈছিল Question number 7 What did Lenso write in his letter to God? লেন্সোৱে ঈশ্বৰলৈ লিখা চিঠিখনত কি লিখিছিল Answer Lenso wrote the letter to God as he thought that he would be the only one to help him in his bad times. He wrote a letter addressing to God to send him 100 pesos so that he and his family can survive in such a difficult situation. Question number 8 What type of a man was the postmaster? The postmaster জন কেনে ধৰণৰ মানুহ আছিল Answer The postmaster was a fat amiable and kind-hearted man. যে postmaster জন আছিল এজন শকত মৰমীয়াল আৰু সৌজন্যশীল মানুহ Question number 9 What was the one hope of Lenso? এটো এটা ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট প্ৰশ্ন Answer Lenso hoped for a spell of rain for his cornfield. Question number 10 Why does the postmaster decide to answer Lenso's letter to God? postmaster জনে লেন্সোৰ ঈশ্বৰলৈ লিখা চিঠিখনৰ উত্তৰ দিবলৈ কিয় সিদ্ধান্ত লৈছিল Answer By doing so he wanted to protect Lenso's faith in God. যে এনে কৰি তেওঁ লেন্সোৰ ঈশ্বৰৰ ওপৰত থকা বিশ্বাস ৰক্ষা কৰিব বিচাৰিছিল এই লেটাৰ টু গড চেপ্টাৰটোৰ পৰা তোমালোকে এই প্ৰশ্ন উত্তৰ কেইটা চাবা খুব ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট নিশ্চয় কিটা পৰীক্ষাত আহিব এটা নেক্সট চেপ্টাৰ হৈছে নেলসন মেণ্ডেলা লং ৱাক টু ফ্ৰীডম Question number 1 চাবা, what does courage mean to Mandela? যে মেণ্ডেলাৰ বাবে সাহসৰ অৰ্থ কি? Answer, for Mandela, courage does not mean the absence of fear but a victory over fear. According to him, brave men need not be fearless but should be able to conquer fear. Question number 2, according to Mandela, between love and hate, which comes more naturally to human heart? মেণ্ডেলাৰ মতে প্ৰেম আৰু ঘৃণাৰ মাজত কোনটো মানুহৰ হৃদয়লৈ অধিক স্বাভাৱিকভাৱে আহে? Answer, according to Mandela, love comes naturally to human heart. যে মেণ্ডেলাৰ মতে মানুহৰ হৃদয়ত প্ৰেম স্বাভাৱিকতে আহে। Question number 3, which does he think is natural to love or to hate? For Mandela, love comes more naturally to the human heart than hate. What missions would Mandela like to achieve for the future of South Africa and her people on securing the political emancipation? যে ৰাজনৈতিক মুক্তি নিশ্চিত কৰাৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত দক্ষিণ আফ্ৰিকা আৰু তাৰ জনসাধাৰণৰ ভৱিষ্যতৰ বাবে মেণ্ডেলাই কি মিছন লাভ কৰিব বিচাৰিছিল? Answer, the mission which Mandela liked to achieve for the future of South Africa and her people on securing the political emancipation is that he wanted to free his people from poverty, suffering, hardships, deprivation, gender and class discrimination. Also, he assured the people that no person in South Africa would undergo this oppression from that day onwards. Question number 5. The oppressed and oppressor alike are robbed of their humanity. What makes say this? Answer, the line, the oppressed, the oppressor alike are robbed of their humanity expressed that neither the oppressor is free nor the oppressed is free. According to Mandela, he does not think that the oppressor is free because in his opinion, an oppressor is a victim of hatred and is behind the bars of prejudice and narrow-mindedness. Question number 6. What did Mandela say about the wealth of his country? 6 নম্বৰত সুধিছে যে মেণ্ডেলাই নিজৰ দেশৰ ধন সম্পত্তিৰ বিষয়ে কি কৈছিল? Answer, Nelson Mandela said that the wealth of his country lies not in its natural resources but rather its people were the real wealth. They are finer and truer than the purest diamond. Question number 7. When did Mandela begin to hunger for freedom? যে মেণ্ডেলাই কেতিয়াৰ পৰা স্বাধীনতাৰ ভোকত থাকিবলৈ আৰম্ভ কৰিছিল? Answer, Mandela viewed his childhood freedom as an illusion where he obeyed his parents and the customs of the tribe. When he became youth, he realized that his freedom had been taken away from him, which was the fact that created him a desire to hunger for freedom. Question number 8. What does Mandela mean by courage? Who according to him is a brave man? সাহস বুলিলে মেণ্ডেলাই কি বুজাব বিচাৰিছে? তেওঁৰ মতে সাহসী মানুহ কোন? Answer, for Mandela, courage does not mean the absence of fear but a victory over fear. According to him, brave men need not be fearless but should be able to conquer. The brave man is not he who does not feel of any kind, but he is different. Freedom is indivisible. How does Mandela explain this observation of his? Answer, Nelson Mandela states his ideas about freedom. He believed that freedom is indivisible. The chains on any one of his people were the chains on all of them. While growing up, he realized that freedom has deeper value and meaning. It means equality and honor for all. According to him, oppressor is the prisoner of hatred, prejudice and narrow-mindedness. Question number 10. Write the names of two patriots before Mandela. Mandelaৰ আগৰ দুজন দেশপ্ৰেমিকৰ নাম লিখা. Answer, Oliver Tambo and Walter Sisulu. Question number 11. Who was Nelson Mandela? Answer, Nelson Mandela was the first black president of South Africa. Question number 12. What twin obligation does Mandela mention? Answer, Mandela mentioned that every man has twin obligation. The first is to his family, parents, wife and children. The second obligation is to his people, his community and his country. Question number 13. Why were two national anthems sung? যে দুটা ৰাষ্ট্ৰীয় সংগীত কিয় গোৱা হৈছিল? On the day of the inauguration, two national anthems were sung, one by the whites and the other by the blacks. This symbolized the equality of blacks and whites. Next chapter, Coorg. First question, where is Coorg? Coorg ক'ত আছে? Answer: Coorg is the smallest district of Karnataka, located midway between Mysore and Mangalore. Next question: Who was the first chief of the Indian Army? যে ভাৰতীয় সেনাৰ প্ৰথম প্ৰধান কোন আছিল? Answer: General Cariappa was the first chief of the Indian Army. Question number 3. What are the sports then Coorg offers to tourists? Coorge পৰ্যটকক কি খেল আগবঢ়ায়? Answer: The sports that Coorg offers to tourists are river rafting, canoeing, rappelling, rock climbing, and mountain biking. Question number 8. Of whose descent are the fiercely independent people of Coorg? Answer: According to the author, the fiercely independent people of Coorg are descendants of Greeks or Arabs. A part of Alexander's army moved south along the coast and settled there only when they were unable to return to their country. Next important question was, what is the other name of Coorg? Coorgor আন এটা নাম কি? Answer: The other name of Coorg is Kodagu. Question number 10. How is the water of the Kaveri River? Where does the river obtain its water from? Answer: The water of the Kaveri is fresh and clear. The river obtains its water from the hills and forests of Coorg. Next question. When does the season of joy commence in Coorg? Till what time does it continue? Coorgor আনন্দৰ ঋতু কেতিয়া আৰম্ভ হয়? কিমান সময়লৈকে চলি থাকে? Answer: In Coorg, the season of joy commences from September and continues till March. Question number 12. What is a kufia? Who wears it? Kufia কি? ইয়াক কোনে পিন্ধে? Answer: Kufia is a long coat with an embroidered waist belt worn by the Kodavus. Kufia is the dress worn by the Arabs and Kurds. Question number 13. What does the writer say about the Coorg regiment? লেখকে Coorg regimentor বিষয়ে কি কৈছে? Answer: The author says that there is a regiment in the Indian Army by the name of Coorg Regiment. It has been playing an important role in the army. The first chief of the Indian Army was General Cariappa. He was a Coorgi. Question number 14. What is canopy? Canopy কি? Answer: Canopy is a roof-like coverings that form shelters. Question number 15. Name the large freshwater fish available in the river in Coorg. Coorg নদীত উপলব্ধ বৃহৎ মিঠা পানীৰ মাছৰ নাম লিখা. Answer: Mahasir is the large freshwater fish available in the river in Coorg. ইয়াৰ পিছৰ চেপ্টাৰ হৈছে tea from Assam. Question number 1. How many cups of tea are drunk every day throughout the world? সমগ্ৰ বিশ্বতে প্ৰতিদিনে কিমান কাপ চাহ খোৱা হয়? Answer: Over 80 crores cup. Question number 2. Who is the writer of tea from Assam? Who is Mr. Borua mentioned in the lesson? Answer: Arup Kumar Datta is the writer of tea from Assam. Mr. Borua is Pranjal's father. Question number 3. Name the tea garden where Pranjal's father was posted as a manager. Pranjalor দেউতাকে manager হিচাপে কাম কৰা চাহ বাগিচাখনৰ নাম কি? Answer: The name of the garden managed by the Pranjal father is Dhekiabari Tea Garden. Question number 4. From which state did Pranjals belong to? যে Pranjal কোনখন ৰাজ্য আছিল? Answer: Pranjal belong to Assam, a northeastern state of India. Question number 5. Who is Rajbir? Rajbir কোন? Answer: Rajbir is a classmate of Pranjal. Question number 6. When was tea drunk first in China? চীন দেশত চাহ কেতিয়া খোৱা হৈছিল? Answer: Tea was first drunk in China 2700 BC. Question number 7. Who was Pranjal's father? Pranjal's father was the manager of a tea garden in Upper Assam. Question number 8. Name the tea garden managed by Pranjal's father. Answer: The name of the tea garden managed by Pranjal's father is Dhekiabari Tea Garden. Question number 9. Describe the scenery outside the train. Where was Pranjal's and Rajbir going by train? ৰেলৰ বাহিৰৰ দৃশ্যপটটো বৰ্ণনা কৰা. Pranjal আৰু Rajbir ৰেল যোগে কলৈ গৈ আছিল? Answer: There were green forests everywhere. Rajbir had never seen such greenery before. He was going to Assam with his friends. Soon the soft green paddy fields gave way to tea buses. Both of them were going to Assam. Pranjal's father, Mr. Borua, was the manager of a tea garden in Upper Assam. Question number 10. What magnificent view did Rajbir see outside while going in the train? যে ৰেলত যাওঁতে ৰাজবীৰে বাহিৰত কি মহৎ দৃশ্য দেখা পাইছিল? Answer: There were tea buses here and there. Against the densely wooded hills, a sea of tea buses spread over a vast area. Over the tiny tea plants were tall sturdy sheds. trees. There were orderly tea buses. In the distance was an ugly building. It looked wood among the tea buses. Smoke was coming out to tall chimneys. ইয়াৰ পিছৰ চেপ্টাৰ হৈছে Madam rides the bus. Question number 1. What did Valley see on her way that made her laugh? বাটত বল্লীয়ে কি দেখিছিল যাৰ বাবে তাই হাঁহি উঠিছিল? Answer. Bully saw a young cow whose tail was high in the air. When the bus came, the cow came on the middle of the road. The bus slowed down and the driver sounded his horn loudly. Even then, it kept running faster in front of the bus. Haley found it so amusing that she laughed heartily. She had tears in her eyes. What was Valley's favorite pastime? Bullyৰ প্ৰিয় খেলা-ধূলা কি আছিল? Valley's favorite pastime was to stand in the front doorway of her house and observe everything happening around on the street. ইয়াৰ পিছৰ প্ৰশ্ন What was a source of unending joy for Bully? What was her overwhelming desire? যে বল্লীৰ বাবে অন্তহীন আনন্দৰ উৎস কি আছিল? তাই আপ্লুত ইচ্ছা কি আছিল? Answer. A source of unending joy for Bully was the sight of the bus that traveled between her village and the nearest town, filled with a new set of passengers each time it passed through her street. Her strongest desire was to ride on that bus. 4 নং প্ৰশ্ন How much distance was the town from Bully's village? What was the bus fare for a trip Bully village to the town? বল্লীৰ গাঁৱৰ পৰা চহৰখন কিমান দূৰত আছিল? বল্লীৰ গাঁৱৰ পৰা চহৰখনলৈ যোৱা বাছৰ ভাড়া কিমান আছিল? Answer. From Bully's village, the town was about 6 miles away. The fare for a trip from Bully's village to the nearest town was 30 paise. Question number 6. Why did Bully find the old woman who sat beside her in the bus absolutely repulsive? Answer. Bully saw that the woman had big holes in her earlobes and very ugly earrings in them. She could smell the betel nut that the woman was chewing and could see the betel juice that was almost about to spill over her lips. She did not like her and found her absolutely repulsive. ইয়াৰ পিছৰ প্ৰশ্ন Who was Bully? Bully কোন? Answer. Bully was the short name of Bidyamandir. She was an 8-year-old girl who was very curious. Who wrote the story Madam Rides the Bus? Answer. Ballikanon wrote the story Madam Rides the Bus. Question number 9. When would Bully be jealous? Answer. Bully would be jealous when one of her friends described the sight of the town to her. Question number 10. What did Bully carefully listen to? Answer. Bully carefully listened to conversation of her neighbors who use the bus regularly. Question number 11. Why does Bully refuse to look out the window on her way back? Bullyয়ে উভতি অহাৰ পথত খিৰিকীৰে বাহিৰলৈ চাবলৈ কিয় অস্বীকাৰ কৰিছিল? Answer. Bully refused to look out of the window on her way back because the memory of the dead cow haunted her, dampening her enthusiasm. যে Bullyয়ে উভতি অহাৰ পথত খিৰিকীৰে বাহিৰলৈ চাবলৈ অস্বীকাৰ কৰিছিল কাৰণ মৰা গৰুটোৰ স্মৃতিয়ে তাইক খেদি ফুৰিছিল। তাইৰ উৎসাহক ম্লান কৰি পেলাইছিল। প্ৰিয় ছাত্ৰ-ছাত্ৰীসকল, মই গোটেইকেইটা চেপ্টাৰৰে অতি সম্ভাৱ্য VSA কুৱেশ্যন আনসাৰখিনি তোমালোকক দি দিলোঁ আৰু মক টেষ্ট কুৱেশ্যন পেপাৰখনৰ কাৰণে এণ্ড স্ক্ৰীনৰ বাওঁহাতে থকা এই ভিডিঅ'টো তোমালোকে চাব পাৰা। অন্যান্য ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট ভিডিঅ'ৰ বাবে আমাৰ চেনেলটো ছাবস্ক্ৰাইব কৰিবা আৰু এই ভিডিঅ'টোত এটা লাইক কৰি আমাক উৎসাহিত কৰিবা। সকলোৰে পৰীক্ষা ভাল হওক তাৰে কামনা কৰিলোঁ। ধন্যবাদ।